What up, what up, what up, people? What up? Good night, good night, good night. And it's been a boring, so to speak, international break so far. Good for everyone, I think, especially for United fans. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. It's been your boy, Mark and MUFC, and I got some good panelists here for you tonight. As you guys take this time, please like, share, and subscribe. Help the channel go around, get around, share on to everybody. You know what I mean? So everyone can enjoy it, join the community, have some fun, talk about football, and enjoy themselves. So as we get started, as you could see in the presentation folder at the beginning, with the little intro that I have, with all the little, you see all the little games, from CONCACAF, from CAF, and as well Euro qualifying for Euros and Ball. So guys, what are we talking about here tonight? As I bring my first guest on, Drex, my boy, he's always up for it. Let's start the talk. Let's go.
Let's
What's up, bro?
go.
What's up? What's
I'm
up?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How you doing, bro? How you doing?
Chilling, chilling, chilling.
I,
A
s-
little
I
cold. It's
see.
Germany.
I see you chilling. Yo, I see you chilling. Yo,
Yeah,
I was
man.
at the backstage and I heard you say it's a boring international break. Ain't no boring. Did you see what France did to Gibraltar? 7 goals in the first half, 7-0 at first half. At the end of the
Well,
day, it ended up being 12. 12. Oh
hmm,
my days. Oh, it was
bro.
it
I
was
well,
it
it
was
has to
raining
be some
goals.
kind of. It has to be that Lecouff thing because the Los Alphonse of
Uh-huh.
they
Yeah.
also crushed the team 9-0. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Cote d'Ivoire beat one of the teams 9-0 today. It's
Oh yeah.
interesting. It's been
Yeah.
a really good football break, to be fair. And let's
Of
get
course.
let's get the main man in the building. Your cousin Tesh is here. Let's get him on time. We've been waiting. What's up? What's up, my bro? What's
How you
good?
doing, man? How are you? How are you? How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good. I'm good. It's a three-man show tonight, so we're not. No one's stealing the show. Everyone's gonna be involved, right?
That's good though. All smiles, all good vibes, all positive vibes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
That's good.
you guys were on a stream earlier, and I came in late. As sometimes it's the usual thing for me. My timing is like a few minutes off, so when I think it's like 11, it's actually like 10 minutes
Hmm.
after in UK time. You know what I mean? So
And
it
and
goes
and
its way. It goes its
and,
way.
and again, I see. My apologies. I think stream started 8 minutes ago. I had to grab a banana before the
Oh
stream.
yeah, no worries, man. Grab it, man. If you want, I could drop you down until you finish
No, no,
that,
I'm
that
good.
banana. It's
No,
all good.
I'm good now. I'm good now.
So what you saying? What you saying, people? What you saying? What's yeah, I was actually keeping an eye on there's this game I was looking at the Romania game, right? Even as
Mm.
well as the Germany game. The Germany was interesting to me because guess what? Kai Havertz was playing left back. I don't understand what that was, but
He
because
scored 5 minutes later though.
I know it's like I'm like what was that? But they ended up losing the game 3-2, right? So
Yeah,
I was like, what was that, man? Then
from a
I also had
striker to left back.
I have no idea how what's going on right there. I think the German coach in Nagelsmann is trying to do something that
Never been done
bro
before,
I don't
maybe,
know.
right?
I have no idea, but you know. See, there's something about life in itself. Life in itself, you'd have to mix it up, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, our goalkeeper actually was in that game, right? He didn't really have a bad game, but yeah, the second choice Ben there, right? Which
Yeah.
which I believe will be starting on when we face Everton. I
But,
hope
but,
so.
but I heard Onana's injury is just stomach, probably it's just stomach related.
Or they should make it stomach related and put him on the bench for a while. Let's see this guy play, and because guess what, Onana is gonna go on the AFCON in about what in about a month's time or in about 6 to 7 weeks time, right? So we might
Yeah,
as well just start getting used to
Brandon.
I like to call you Ben you there, Ben you there.
No, then
Uh, yeah, so Ben you there. I can't pronounce his name. I have
I
to
can
ask
honestly,
Google to help me.
no, it's so funny when you can pronounce the name if you actually look at it. You pronounced it right.
Let's
Yeah,
see. Let's
Bayanda.
say Ben
Bayanda.
Bender. By
Yeah,
oh
Yeah.
by in there.
Bayanda.
Okay. By in
Yeah,
there.
Bayanda. If you
Okay.
look
homie.
at it,
Okay.
you'll pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that simple, man. Like I've just been checking out the scores of CONCACAF and stuff like that, guys. You know what I mean? Checking out the scores on the African Cup of Nations qualifications, checking out the scores
Mhm.
of Euro qualifications. It's been interesting. A lot, and the only reason I said boring is because most English fans of club football fans, they find international break boring. But like
Oh no,
fans
that.
like me, who are from like a region which is not like
Mhm.
at the top, like in CONCACAF, we find it exciting because like we never had all that the bulk of football like before
Yeah.
now, before
Yeah. Yeah.
Nations League appeared and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
super exciting for us. We
Yeah.
enjoy it. We get to see the team play a lot. It helps improve the
Yeah.
quality of football. It
True.
does a lot of things. So it's
It's the
like for
same
me.
thing. It's the same thing with us, with me, right? When I, because I have an app where anytime my country is playing Nigeria, right?
Mhm.
It's it pops up. It tells me, okay, you're gonna be playing tomorrow. It gives me when my boys are in and what's not, right? So I can understand, because back, like, we never used to, like, other than the EPL, when the international break was on, it's a time for us to actually see our players, right? Those that are actually in the EPL or in the Serie A, Bonde, or what's we call it, Ligue 1. So we get to see them come as a unit to actually play for the country, and it's one of those things. Not much now. We feel like, okay, the international break is taking away the excitement of the EPL and every club football, but we shouldn't forget the place of international football, where you get to see your players, right? Those actually representing the country, actually doing their thing with in the international competitions as well. That being said,
Yeah.
my country lost to Lesotho by I think 2-1. Yeah. But our star man isn't playing. Our star man is injured. I believe if he had played, if he had started that game, or if he had even featured in that game, we would have been able to. Because just him on the pitch drives fear. That's Victor Osimhen. Just him on the pitch drives fear. I remember when Nigeria was playing. Who did we play last? Was it Satome? Right. The minute he got injured and he came off, those guys felt like, oh, the danger man is off. Let's go at them. So that being said, Nigeria have a game tomorrow at Zimbabwe. It's gonna be a tricky one because we'll be playing on artificial turf, and I think our boys are used to it. So we should get the win right there. Yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
for
The
me,
that's
break.
when
Go ahead.
everyone talks about the international break, the only thing I take
Yeah.
from it is this. I'm not a big fan, to be fair, but the only thing I take from it is more so, when you play FIFA, or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
now called EA Sports, right? You tend to see those players you see, right, that post those cards. You can see their real faces, right? When you
Yeah.
probably watch the plays of international, to me that's the most fascinating part. So players you don't really know, probably
Yeah.
in the lower leagues by
Mm-hmm.
different countries, not in the main countries, right? That's what to me that's what I think I get. It's also excited, but the more it's fascinating to see, right? These players you see in games, you can actually see them in real life playing for their country, since most of them don't play for the major, what they call the big leagues.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
And the
Like
Canada
from
actually.
Canada and them
Yo,
played in the
bro.
CONCACAF.
My bro, my bad. It was 14-0. 14-0.
14 to who?
14-0.
Was that
France.
basketball?
I don't know. It was France. Mbappe had a hat trick. Giroud had a hat trick. Um,
It's a,
was Dembele?
if
Dembele had a break. I think Dembele had just one goal, I believe. Yeah. Mbappe had three. Yeah. Mbappe had three. Giroud had three. Rabiot had one. Rabiot was on the score sheet. There was an own goal. Then Thuram was on the score sheet. This new kid of theirs, Zare Henry was on the score sheet as well. Klaus was on the score sheet. Fofana as well as Coman. Yeah, Coman had the brace. And Dembele just one goal. Saliba. Okay, no, no, my bad. I thought Saliba was on the score sheet now. So It was Giroud, Mbappe. It was Giroud, Mbappe, Dembele, Coman, Rabiot, Fofana. Yeah, Klaus, and Zare. I think they had to take him off at the 20th minute. I don't know what that was. But yeah, I was talking about the Canada game, right? Canada had Jamaica, and they despised. They actually had the win over Jamaica with what's his name? S2 with Jonathan David had a goal. What's this other guy's name that plays the right center mid? I can't. It sounds Mexican to me.
Who's that?
Yo, what's that noise?
Oh, you can hear the mute. Okay.
Yeah. So what's his name? Yeah, Jonathan. Like I said, Jonathan was on the score sheet. There's this Spanish guy. His name sounds Mexican to me, though. Sounds like it's.
You're talking about Gimenez.
I can't really pronounce. I'm bad with name, right?
Gimenez?
No, Jimenez. For Canada. No, for Canada. Canada. His name is.
You mean
Eustachio. Not David, not Jonathan. Jonathan David had the goal. Eustachio, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Eustachio had the goal. What's his name? Leon Bailey didn't really have a good game. He didn't have a good game. Antonio I just feel like maybe he didn't get enough of the service, though it was subbed off, right? But Leon Bailey was the one I was looking out for, and I just realized that, man, it wasn't all that. Yeah. Jamaica.
I don't know if you know Jamaica, they're trying to call if you're seeing if they can get back in Greenwood to play for Jamaica. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. He's already agreed. He's already agreed mostly. I think they haven't gone through all the paperwork stuff as yet.
Oh, he agreed already, which should be nice. That would be nice. That would be good, because at least that would put him back on the international scene. Anybody that wants to have a problem, it should take it to Jamaican federation, right? So, but I don't know why people keep crying, but I see. Like I've said all along, I'm in a neutral place.
Yeah, I think it's more so. I think some people feel there's some people that actually legitimately, basically, and I think you want to empathize also with the situations they've had, and that's fine.
Mhm.
But there are some people that basically just want him to go down, not because of the issue, but because it makes too much money. And I saw someone on Twitter saying you should go work at McDonald's, right? You should be playing football. It's some people are just pissed about the money. So to me, it doesn't make sense. But again, there's people that are legitimately impacted. But the main line is that, right, there are laws, right, and basically we are actually governed by this law. I also know that there are morals as well, right? Where the law is saying that it's fine, but for me though, right, it should be fine. But I think we have what here? Hero qualifier. I'll go on mute because there are prayers.
Yeah, well, we're talking about semi-English players, so I just we'll just carry on the convo here one time, you know.
Okay, Finland. Is these matches what was played up today or yesterday?
No, these were last night, and the others these are today.
Today, yeah. Romania was, like I said, I was keeping an eye on that game because I actually thought Israel was gonna get the win, or the game was gonna. One of the ones that shocked me this night is the Switzerland game. I'm like, how? Because Kosovo recently have been putting in some nice performance, right? So, but I was thinking the Switzerland team should be able to get the win over Kosovo, but yeah, I was surprised that
Kosovo. Kosovo in the last round of Euro qualifying and Nations League last season, they had to play a lot of tougher teams. So, they're getting stronger, in my opinion. They play tougher opposition. So now Switzerland found it hard, you know what I mean? And Switzerland had the likes of Marcel Sabitzer and these guys.
Yeah.
I believe he's played for Switzerland. So And that's a decent team. So you know what's going on with Kosovo right now. So as you was talking about the France game, look at that scoreline. That's interesting.
So France, I'm gonna ask, right? Has anyone ever scored 6 or 7 goals in a game? Why did Mbappe try to replicate that in this match?
I think someone did.
Mbappe had 3 goals. 3 goals. Yeah.
Has anyone ever scored 6 goals in a match before, in a single match? You guys know?
I think that was years ago.
On the international scene or club?
Yeah, in general.
I think the closest we've had is 5, Dmitry Berbatov. I remember. Is he, if I'm not mistaken, Berbatov. So somebody else that actually had 5. 5. Somebody else actually had 6, who was ahead of Berbatov, right? So on the top of my head is Dmitry Berbatov. I actually remember against that game against Blackburn Rovers, right? He had 5 goals in that game. So
yeah, well, I mean, like I start thinking about people scoring 5 and 6 goals in a game now. Like if that happened now, celebrate it. But to be fair, it's kind of difficult to consider that being the case in a situation. You know what I mean? And like I think it happened, but like so many years ago. And if you guys not even sure, I'd tell already shocking news about Netherlands 1-0 win. Guess who's the scorer? That one goal.
I didn't watch the game, so I'm gonna pick a wide guess here. I didn't watch the game. No, Malasia didn't start. Maybe Frankie De Jong.
Wout Weghorst.
What?
It's Wout.
On the 11th minute.
Wow.
What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts on his time in Manchester United? What do you think?
Well, I mean, this is just my honest thought, right? It was his dream come true. Hats off to him. Congratulations. Hope to God we never repeat something of that nature ever again in life. Right? He's a decent player, but not Man United quality. Like, listen to me. A man cannot miss 15 tap-ins in less than 10 games. 15 tap-ins. Man tapping the ball and then going over the bar from less than 6 feet out from the goal. Oh, tell me, what kind of fluke of nature is that? I don't understand. So, I know, guys. I don't know, but let me just get down to the list of scoring from France, because if I go and talk about Wout like that, I know Drex is pretend like if I vicious, he violent when it comes to his criticism of some players. So let me just run through the list. As Drex said, Mbappe had a hat trick. You know what I mean? Oliver Giroud had a double. Dembele had a goal.
Had a hat trick, right? Giroud had a double or a hat trick?
No, Giroud had a double. Santos scored an own goal. Thuram had a goal.
Okay, my bad.
Zaire Emery had a goal. Fofana had a goal. Kingsley Coman had a goal. Rabiot, who we wanted to get, who Ten Hag wanted, had a goal. I tell men, we should have get Rabiot,
but his mother was playing a hard ball. So
yeah,
and we don't have
kicking up on Rabiot, man.
But we don't have good negotiators. We don't have good negotiators, so that's why that one slipped.
Possibly. But to me, fans was kicking up on the Rabiot. That's just my opinion.
I don't know what the problem was. Most people didn't really like the Rabiot idea.
Honestly, I think Rabiot would have been a good signing. It's just I think we couldn't get one, and also the reason why I feel United didn't have much pressure is because of probably the fans' backlash and the fans they want to play. So they felt, let's not probably waste too much energy.
Yeah, but we know. Let me be real, guys. Right? And I'm not trying to offend anybody or anything like that, but if you want to be 100% factual, right? English fans is mostly only watch the Premier League. They don't have a clue about players playing out the Premier League. So most of them don't even know how good Rabiot really is. You understand? And I telling men, Rabiot, What is a Rabiot is a replacement for Deschamps. People thought it was Christian Eriksen. Rabiot is a ball carrying midfielder, combative
Yeah.
everything. When the ball could drive ahead, he score goals. Rabiot would be dangerous, but people they have this kind of absurd view. Let me just touch with some the one viewer in the comments. Say Arsenal, big up, bro. Hope you're doing good. Arsenal will have a meltdown this season. Don't worry about it. All good in the hood, my boy.
That shit.
All good. So, guys, we talk about CAF qualifications in Africa now, bro. Like, looking at this list here, it wasn't too bad, You know what I mean? It wasn't too bad. If I had to pick out from this list, I'm looking at the Zambia game. Zambia scored 4 on Congo Republic. Patson Daka with the opening goal on the 5th minute. Luis Banda. Well, I don't know this guy Sakala, but I know Patson Daka had a double at the end of the game. And for Congo Republic, Ganvula and Basu Amina is the scores for them in there too. And that looked like a thrilling game. I wasn't able to catch the highlights, but judging from the scoreline, Zambia was always in control. They led the scoring off, but went down to Congo, who came back fighting, scoring 2 goals unanswered. And at the stroke of halftime, Luis Banda came in and equalized for Zambia. The other 2 goals were scored on the 70th minute and the 90th plus 3rd minute extra time.
Yeah, but see, the Cote d'Ivoire running away with that game. One of the games I was surprised about, it's the Comoros and the Central African Republic, right? Those two, it's been they what should we call it now? They're one of the nations, right? I believe going into the AFCON. I think the CAR is actually part of the finals for that AFCON, right? So I'll be keeping my eye on them because they've been proven to be a problem this time around.
Well, they don't look like that much of a problem for Comoros, judging from how the game was.
Comoros is good too. Comoros.
Basically dominate them in the second half. It was an even first half. As you say, Central Africa is the cause of problem. They scored the first goal, with Abdallah, but it was our own goal that they scored. And then 19 minutes later, Maduma from Comoros equalized, and it went to the half, and after that was 3 unanswered goals before they score a consolation at the end of the game. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can't say they're not a bad team, but from the scoreline, it looking like, you know what I mean? Something happened.
They're not a bad team. What you call it? They're not.
Cool. Well, the actual African results I want to talk about is the results for Nigeria. That's your team, not so?
Yes, yeah, man. 100%.
And when they play on Thursday?
They play tomorrow. They played 2 days ago. They lost 2-1 to
they draw 1-1 with. They lost. No, they draw.
They drew or they lost.
They drew 1-1 with.
No, they drew. I can't. I thought.
But it's your team, bro. Well, I know you're living in Canada now.
My bad, because by the time I was seeing the game, it was like they for me they shopped up. It's my so if this, like I said, because what's his name? Yeah, because the big man isn't playing for us, right? I feel like the Lesotho team actually feels like.
When you say big man, you're talking about
they stood a chance, but let us see what tomorrow brings, because we are playing Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen, right? So that's my. So the thing we still have the group stages. The group stage is actually still, it's just one game each, and everybody's played one game. I know South Africa dispatched what's his name? South Africa had the win over Benin. Then Rwanda and Zimbabwe, I think they drew that game. As well as Nigeria, Lesotho drew. I thought that for some reason I don't know why I was thinking Lesotho actually edged us with the 2-1 victory, right? So that being said, the South Africa is leading that group with 3 points. Every other person on one save Benin Republic. So it's what's my call it now? It's gonna be a very interesting one because we play in Zimbabwe next, which is tomorrow. I'm gonna be keeping my eye on that game, Zimbabwe tomorrow, and yeah, that should be an interesting game because we are going at we'll be away at Zimbabwe tomorrow, and I hope we get the win tomorrow. I just hope we get the win tomorrow.
That's the early one. It's for 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, but
wow.
It's my 9 my time, so it's gonna be we're gonna be looking at that game and see gonna be looking at that game and see what I hope for a win tomorrow. Just get the win and put us back in the put us back on the top, at least because I know with the African teams, whoever tops the group automatically qualifies for the World Cup. So yeah.
So we are currently third in a group of 6.
No,
not bad. That's not bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
How many teams qualify?
We should be better.
No, we're third in the. It's just that's what I'm saying. It's just the first round of games. So it's just the first round of games, right? Yeah, it's just the first round of games. So because just the first round of games, we still have to play. We just played Lesotho, which we would have the second return leg. Then we're going away to Zimbabwe. We will have to play Rwanda and Benin Republic as well as South Africa. So from my understanding, it's whoever tops the group actually qualifies for the World Cup, right? Which will be in 2026, I believe. Yeah. So that's just that's my take. So
USA and Mexico tri-nation tournament, the first of its kind, 48 team expansion.
Yes.
Well, as you're talking about that, let's move along, and we'll talk about the Nations League, because CONCACAF Nations League have a lot to do with the qualifications to the World Cup as well. The top teams get a little bit of automatic qualification, something like that, or some kind of bonus.
I think I have to keep an eye on my team as well, because in every I have a team from Africa, which is obviously my Nigeria, right? Then currently in Canada, which will be one of my team as well. But now my team from the CONCACAF would be like one of my team. In fact, I'm just gonna give Canada away. I'm gonna stick on to St. Kitts and Nevis, right? I love the Kittians. I love
St. Kitts is going nowhere. You're going nowhere.
Listen to me, right?
This is just to fill space.
Let me just focus on the reality of here what's going on now, because I was up till my time 3 a.m. in the morning watching this Trinidad versus USA, and the scoreline there looking like we get thumped up and embarrassed.
But you wanna know something? You guys got a red card.
Yeah, but you wanna know something? The United States only had 4 shots on goal until the 82nd minute of the game, playing 10 men since the 35th minute of the game.
For sure.
So you know how well the team defended until what happened was the team made some substitutions at the end, and they brought on a central midfielder, I think this time his name is Robin Kim or something like that. He was he was terrible. It's like bringing on it's like leaving Ericsson on for 90 minutes, and the team make a tactical change in the midfield and brought on somebody with a lot of legs, and he just don't have the legs to keep up. And all the attacks came down that side, and he just was out of the game.
Yeah.
And then we conceded the first goal, which was like basically like a penalty. and then they redo it, and then they get him a corner which didn't exist actually, and that was the first goal. It was a brilliant strike, to be fair, a back heel. Like the keeper couldn't see that, no one couldn't see that. From where he get the ball, he back heeled it. It was an amazing goal, and then Trinidad and Tobago capitulated. They was tired, down to 10 men. The last 8 minutes, they kind of just couldn't hold on. But they have a second leg, so we play them in Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday, and hopefully we could get a result, because in usually in Trinidad they don't beat us at home. Usually, so there's a young Trinidadian team. They have a few stars on the team. I'd like to recognize that have one of the stars on the team put Brighton to the sword with 2 assists when AK happened to meet them in the Europa League. His name is Levi Garcia. He was brilliant. He came on last night, but he should have started the game, because I feel like playing against the United States, you need to have a physical forward, because the United States plays a lot of, body football with the defenders. They're usually big body. They just put the body on you, so you need to be able to take it and push off it. And the striker that we played is actually a guy that I really like. His name is Shaw. He's really talented, but he young. He just started playing, and he has a good eye for goal. He's make some. People would say erratic runs, but he's go left sometimes and he's go right. But once he break away, it's goal. You know what I mean? So, and the real star of the team, in my opinion, is Noah Powder, who plays in the midfield position. He plays a register position. He holding the ball. He carries the ball well. He makes key passes. He's very good, and he was tackled by the American central defender in the opposite position, Weston McKennie, but he received a yellow card. So which was odd, and everybody, even the commentators, was trying to figure out, well, how could he, receive a card when he was tackled? He was being tackled, So it was odd, and then later on in the game, 10 minutes later, he made a sliding challenge, which he got the ball, but Weston McKennie rolling around on the ground again. Even the commentator was fed up of him. The commentator is an American. The commentator was like, "Oh my God, he's making an absolute meal out of this." I can't believe this is what he's doing. It's just shameful. That's what the commentator said.
Weston McKennie, though, the way he fell from grace is shocking. Though he used to play for Juventus, right? Or is he still there?
Yeah, he's still at Juventus, but they wanted to sell him, but they couldn't because they lost a few players, and Juventus having money problems. So he there. I mean, I never really rated him as a player. In my honest opinion, he have I look at most American footballers like athletes and not like actual footballers. I feel like they're okay at football, but they have good athletic attributes. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they're lacking that naturalistic originality that a lot of players you would see out of players in South America, in Europe, even in the Caribbean. They lack that. They don't have, for me, their identity is like strategic.
Yeah.
Tactical, a tactical identity. But with this new team that they have some young players on this team that bring they bring that kind of samba vibes, because a lot of these players, well, if you look at the names, some of them could play for either USA or England, some of them could play for Brazil or USA, some of them could play for Mexico or USA. So, they have that, they're starting to get some players coming through the ranks that have that natural tendency to have that spark in them, So I think going forward in the next few years, there might be a good contender, but I will always say that in CONCACAF, the giants are like Mexico and Trinidad and Jamaica. They are the giants in CONCACAF, because historically, we would naturally put America to the sword. You know what I mean?
It's like the tides are changing, right? The tides are turning.
Yeah, I think America are putting lots of what they call energy and in their football currently, at least to develop that, though. Honestly, I think if they continue like this, though, like what you said is actually correct. It's not their first sport. They're trying to build it. So I think that naturalness in terms of the game, right, the players don't have it right. But I think over time, as they start to move through playing in different countries, as they start to develop their own leagues, I think you start probably seeing that might come, but it might take time before that naturalness in football will probably be in the American system.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. I also kind of happy because there's a revolution for Trinidad and Tobago soccer warriors at the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
the coach, I might not be too keen on him. I didn't really like some of his in-game management over the last year and previous at the Gold Cup before and at the Under-20 World Cup with the
Mm-hmm.
younger teams, right? But I have been watching this Nations League campaign since it started like 6 weeks ago, you know. And in the first international break, we won 2 games. They played really well, defended. They played an expansive type of football because, as you know, it was introduced in Trinidad. That this whole Dutch expansive gig and this whole expansive football from total football was introduced to Trinidad in 2004. And then we
Mhm.
made the World Cup with Leo Hacker and we was playing Dutch expansive total football. So we kind of broke away from that for a while, but now we just returned to it. And these young players that we have, it fit them nicely. You know, these young players starting to show character. It have certain defenders on the team. It have one called Aubrey David. He's really well, 6'2", very mobile, very agile, very good at reading the game, makes key defensive plays. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
a young goalkeeper in Denzel Smith, and he's pretty good as well. He let in 2 goals. I would give those 2 goals as his fault. The first one, he couldn't do anything about it. But for a guy his size, he gets around the box. He imposes himself well. You know what I mean? And he looks a lot to me like a slightly smaller stature of Shaka Hislop. I might be
Yeah, yeah,
exaggerating
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit, but to me, that's just he has that presence in the box, and he could make some good saves. He has a good repertoire in his locker. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like I say, I will talk about Noel Powder because he's impressed me every single time. And it have this other guy who name is Ryan Telfer. He's play off the right. He's pretty effective, and he wasn't able to get going against USA because of the red card.
Mhm.
He had to sacrifice himself, and to be fair, I think America got lucky because in the first couple openings of play, he was breaking away and they had to foul him repeatedly. So I feel like in the next game at home, he'll be rested and raring to go. And I feel Trinidad will give them a run for it. But, the big guns in the Caribbean right now is Jamaica because Jamaica has hired a new coach over the
Yeah.
last few
Yeah.
seasons and he's implemented a very decent style of football. They stick to a more kind of 4-4-2 formation though.
That's it.
And they have lots of players playing in England. So, tell me what you think
It
about
helps.
Jamaica and Drax.
It helps. No, it like you're right. It helps because of their level of quote and unquote exposure in terms of the foreign scene, the European scene, right? They have like we said, they have a few of their players playing their trade in the EPL, right, and in Europe. So they already the coach is trying to it's I would say when you call them a powerhouse, they have more football technocrats in quote and unquote players right,
Pedigree.
on the pedigree on the pitch, right? So it it gives them an edge. But that being said, I was surprised that also they played Canada, who happens to have a good amount of players too in mixed
European
up in,
scene.
in Europe as well. So you had the likes of Alfonso Davies, you have the
Jonathan
what's his name,
David.
Jonathan David. You
Jonathan
have
David, yeah.
the goalkeeper. Then you have the right back with this Nigerian who plays. I can't remember where he plays for. I think he plays for. I'm gonna pull it up. This Nigerian guy that they have. So they have a few. So it's. I was surprised that it was a close game. Like if you look at it was a close
Hmm.
game. It's just that a few of the Jamaican players didn't really have that spark to actually put Canada away. So it was a close game. So I feel like let's see how it turns out. Like when they play the return leg, I think November 20th, if I'm not mistaken. No, they played the
No,
return leg
on
um,
Wednesday.
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Hmm.
that what's today? Today's 18. So that should be what 21st or 22nd. So
Is for me it will be the 23rd, because of the time in the morning.
Okay.
oh, okay. So let's just see, because I feel like they would get a result. They would get a result against Canada on the return leg, because honestly, I don't see Canada doing that good.
I think you might be underestimating
I don't
Canada
trust
there. I think
Canada
you
in
might
that.
be.
Like they
Drex,
they've
I think
shown, they've proven to actually go
Drex,
ahead.
I think you're basically underestimating Canada. I think that.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think
I
he's
think I
underestimating Canada. Go on,
Yeah,
tell him, Tesh.
I think because you're probably looking at it's a again they've not been in the international stage for probably as in they've been there but not as prominent, but they have certain crop of players that are very good, as in and very very good. So you're talking of the Nathan Davis, you are talking of what they call the this guy Davis, right? These guys, they are very good, and they play in very good teams, though, very good teams, right? And I think even Davis might be moving to Real Madrid. So I think they have good crop of players in terms of from experience, and they have players coming through to basically make that team work. So I think you might be underestimating Canada. I'll see them to get a result against Jamaica in the reverse.
Well, I would say a bit of both on both sides, because to me, I watched a bit of the game because I was trying to get Drex to do a live for the game and thing early on, and because I was unable to, so I was like, because I support Trinidad, so I can't really do a watch along to Jamaica. If it was the World Cup, yeah, it's okay. If not, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. You know how to keep it real, and to be honest. So, and I was looking, and as much as I might say that, I was looking at Jamaica and hoping that they would, give her a better showing on themselves. But then they lost Mikel Antonio in like the first 11 minutes to an injury. So that hurt them. And yeah, the team didn't look like they
yeah.
was up for it after that. So for me, it was like I was disappointed in them. But hats off to Canada again, the result, you know what I mean? Like it I didn't really want to see them win the game, but they got the result, which was good for them. So it's just like, no, I'm being honest, for me, Canada and America is the same thing for me. It's like everybody else is okay, they are the enemy. You know what I mean? That's just how CONCACAF is, bro. Because you have to understand, CONCACAF is like a serious thing. It's the
Yeah.
northern, it's north of the northern exterior of South America. So from Panama, go up Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Guatemala, you know what I mean? All those guys, they playing with us. Cuba, everybody, Haiti, all those guys. Barbados, Antigua, the Bahamas, USA, Mexico, Canada. And when you play against USA and Canada, it's always seemed like it's a tough fixture. And for me, the one thing I will always say about those fixtures is in those fixtures, your team is always likely to be the team that will be awarded yellow cards more frequently.
Do you think because of the name, do you think then probably a bit of favoritism?
Girl, I don't know, but like it just happened. Like, look again. I will come back and say to you this. Like, if you look at the highlights of the foul where Noel Porter will receive the first yellow card, you'd be wondering to yourself how immediately how, and then you would see later on in the game where Weston McKinney right after they scored the first goal ran into the box and dove. He basically dove, play action. You see it. He was falling and he just decided to, you know what, I'll make it look at a meal out it. And they gave a penalty, but VAR overturned it. So in that case, if VAR overturned that, then the only thing they could do is award a yellow card. But he had recently received a yellow card after many attempts in the game, right? So he would have, so obviously they didn't want to do that to create even playing field now, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, the rules are rules. And if you're playing by the rules, you have to play by the rules. You know what I mean? That's just how the game is go.
I hear you though. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Stream lagging guys.
I think mine is fine. Yours was breaking. I don't know if mine is breaking too. Eric was breaking. How is mine?
It's okay. Mine is okay.
You guys there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I think you're the one that's actually lagging now, Mark. Oh yeah.
So, see, why I'm saying that Canada might have an issue with I'm saying
Um,
Canada might have an issue
with
with Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
I don't trust Canada's backline. I don't trust Canada's backline. Canada's backline, what's his name? You have this guy play for the right back, the right back as well as the left back. They play for Vancouver Whitecaps. Then you have their captain. I think he's still the
It's,
captain.
I
Mila.
think it's yeah, it's
Yeah,
played for a while.
to the captain, and yeah, and they have this guy Victoria. Victoria is also. I don't really like. Does Jamaica have what it takes to actually? You can't really call individuals, right? But does Jamaica have what it takes to actually go past them? That's another question. Like Liam Bailey
As a
had a
team.
bad game today.
So,
Yeah, Liam Bailey
again,
had a bad game today. Antonio was subbed off in the first half, I believe. Yeah, Antonio came off in the first half. Yeah. Then so it could be a mix of, but my own take is I don't trust Canada's defense line. I don't trust their defense line. So maybe they could be compensating a lot because they what's his name? Alfonso Davies and Jonathan David. Actually, the coach is actually he set up the team in a 4-4-2 formation kind of thing, right? They have these Estupiano, no, what are they calling Estupiano? Eustachio, right? He plays for Porto. So we have Kone in the midfield, and so you also have what's his name, Bukama, the boy the one that played for Club Brugge, yeah. So that I just feel like maybe their midfield and their attack is actually compensating for the defense. So my own reason why, like I said, my own reason why I feel like Jamaica might edge them in the return leg is just the defense. That's all.
okay,
Cool,
okay,
cool,
makes
cool.
sense, makes sense.
Yeah, Tash. Earlier on, we was talking about that topic, and you said we said we'd leave it on for later on. So you could go ahead and ask your question now.
Okay,
I
no,
will
so
come in and give
no,
my answer, and then
so no,
after I come.
my question was more so right when we're looking at the reductions, right? What happened to Everton, right? Right, and I think United and I think Chelsea were being what they call penalized by the EPL for breach of and financial fair play, and we have
Mhm.
over 150 charges on Man City, right? As in, to me, it doesn't make sense why is it Man City being penalized? I know Durex had a different thought. I know you had something going on, but you're going to bring it up here. So let me hear your thoughts.
Well, you see, the thing is, for me, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, I don't believe Man City should be punished. I think they should be relegated to probably Division Three. There's nowhere, nowhere else you could do it. I think three things should happen: relegation to Division Three. They should be fined, and all the teams who would have finished 18th that season or 17th and not be the team to go down, they should be compensated probably 60 to 100 million each. You know, and I also think that they need to strip them of all the trophies that are those seasons, every single trophy for those seasons that they charge for. If it's five Premier Leagues, if it's three Premier Leagues, whatever, strip them. At
But
the end of the day,
do you think that's harsh though? Do you think it's harsh? Like you basically, I don't know, like because for me though, I won't say they've used money, right? But again, they spent money, and
mhm,
and to be honest, right, they, they basically fast track their improvement in terms of football. But I think doing all that might be too harsh. Now, relegation, I think is okay. Compensation to those teams that are got relegated, right, that should be in place of what they call Man City after all points reduction, right, is fine as well. But to go back to stripping their titles, I don't think anyone wants those titles though. Do you think, for example, the one Mourinho came out second. Would you take that if they gave that to United?
What?
You won't make him more second. Where will you take?
We would have two to make it 23. You understand what I'm saying? Two
Yeah,
more to make it 23. And we possibly would have a FA or two.
FA Cup.
You know what I
It's
mean?
true.
So,
It's
like, I'm not gonna say I won't be shameless. I won't be exaggerative to celebrate it. But yeah, bro, like in reality, that's what happened to AC Milan, Juventus, and Roma when they was relegated. The title went to the next team. You know, and when they they got relegated to Division Three. Or the Campeonato that time. They lost all their players and all those things and had to come back up. So when you look at Milan now, Juventus now, Roma now, they all did it, went through it, been it. The only difference is Man City could afford it, in my opinion.
yes.
You know what I
I
mean?
think
So
Man
like,
City they have power.
yeah. And like, one thing I will always say is that people might say that Man City might be a loss. Bro, the Premier League, 7 years ago, where was Man City? Winning
True.
nothing. 10 years ago, they was not in the Premier League. And the Premier League was making money. Now, the only thing is like if they don't get back to the Premier League within like 2 or 3 seasons, it might cause a decline in views. That at a third season, but if they drop them to Division Three, that first season they come straight back up to Division Two. Second season they come straight back up to Championship.
Different, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So then the hype will be them returning. So in my opinion, like you know, they need to deal with it. The facts are the facts, the law is the law, and they broke the rules. And as much as I would hope that is the punishment, I do believe that is really going to be the punishment. I think they will get probably if they get relegated to championship. If and I'm saying if we lucky, you know what I
I
mean?
see. That's the level of corruption though in the what they call in the EPL.
I mean, it's like okay, let's be realistic about things, right?
Mhm.
Let me extrapolate on the Everton situation.
Yeah,
Everton deserve this what happened to them. As a matter of fact, they deserve to be relegated and given a point deduction, right? So they got lucky, in my opinion, right? This is not the worst. Now, the bad thing about the situation now that they get 10 points deducted is that this situation lies hand in hand with what I was telling you about earlier, where it have teams 2 years ago that was relegated when they didn't get relegated, and they have an argument
yes, they
because
do.
those teams lost consecutively to Everton, which saw them drop down and Everton stay above. And those teams all sued Everton for $100 million each, 100 million
Wow.
pounds. So it's basically they have a lawsuit. So if they really don't get this appeal, they're facing a lawsuit, which let's be real. If they lose the appeal, they will lose the lawsuit as well. So they're
True.
facing 10 points and 300 million in debt.
Wow.
So if they go and face that, Man City shouldn't be facing anything less. And
I
when
agree.
I say less, it should be by 10. So and when I say by
Oh
10,
man,
I just meaning like, it should be like 3 billion in cash they should pay out.
three
And maybe,
billion.
yeah. And maybe something like 100 point deduction.
Yeah, it's what you call it's possible the reason it's taking so long because they are tricky. Let's gather all the evidence. Let's make sure we're making the right and final decision, probably putting what they call a final. Because certainly Man City will appeal any decision that comes their way by the EPL. One thing I'm always concerned about is I heard they actually declared record revenue of over 700 million. How is that
Yeah.
possible?
I don't know, man. This is like I be telling Drex all the time. I'm not a predictor. I'm no rocket scientist. But what I do know is that Man United have 1 billion fans worldwide.
Yes.
Liverpool probably have somewhere in there about 3 region and 500 million. And then we'll go on to Real Madrid, Barcelona. We could even come around, swing back to Arsenal, even Newcastle have more
Mhm.
fans globally
Yeah.
than Manchester City. But at the end of the day, we still not accounting for the fans that we don't see, which is the kids that are going to school, who parents buying them kits. So you never know, because a lot of people is be saying that a lot of the kids right now, kids is the ones buying them.
Okay.
So for me, I mean, is the kind of thing that is like I trying to understand it from the perspective of, how should I put this? They are big fan. They have a huge fan base, but it's nothing near the kind of revenue that would earn them 700 billion. And even if you was to add in the fact that they won a treble, they won the Premier League, they won the UCL, that's probably at most $200 million.
Million, yeah.
You know, Sam. So like we say, and we definitely know they're not going to rack up merch sales in any tune or like 200 million. So
Yeah.
and they definitely don't sell the Etihad out every game.
No, they don't.
I've been to the Etihad a few times because my friend lives near there, and
Yeah.
I went to 2 games with him. And the one time it was full because the Manchester Derby. It's at another game they was playing. I think it was like probably Everton or something like that. Stadium half empty.
Sure. I think Drex is back, but you want to bring him on? He's ready.
No, he's not back yet. Because if he was back, I would be seeing him.
Oh,
so
okay.
he just dropped out to. Yeah, he probably just dropped out to do something to come back. So yeah, I'll bring him in just now. I just go on. I'll update this slide in a few minutes because there's a few things we could talk about again. You know what I mean? So just wanted to ask you a few questions though. If you happen to watch any football during the international break so far, and which games that interest you,
So I think the only game I had time to watch was this Poland, and what's the name? Or is it the what happened? Someone dropped out. So while everyone is wrapping up, probably due to a network connection, just to go back to the thoughts Mark was making regarding the Man City, what they call revenue, and most likely Man City punishment. For me, though, I think going down to Division 3 might be too harsh, but but it might be what called what, right? But it will never happen. It will never happen. I think Man City, from what I went from, they have too much power to kind of be what they call be dealt a hand that heavy on them. So I probably think any punishment the APL might give most likely will come to an appeal, and most likely they might be slashed into half. So probably the APL might have to come heavy, and then have the Man City appeal, and then at least get some sort of punishment. Would I want the titles? It depends. So honestly, for me, I'll say no. Reason that I watch the game for the enjoyment. Why trophies are good to brag with other fans. I love the game for what they call the enjoyment. I love the game for what they call the moments, like that's moment of trying to win. But hearing after probably, let me say, years and Man City being charged of certain offenses. Oh, Drex is back. I had the stage for at least 2 minutes. I was taking full ownership of the channel.
No, it's okay. It's yeah. I had to do something quickly. So the question of the Everton thing, right? Or to take back if Man City are found guilty and get punished and what's not, and take back the trophy. I wouldn't. It's not something that's going to excite me. I feel like there was a reason why we came second, right? There was a reason why we came second in those years that we did. Mourinho maybe might take it for Mourinho because Mourinho wasn't. I think it was 11 points away from Man City, right? 11 or 9 points. Then but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time. Oh, if they give it, I'll take it, but it's not something that would excite me. If they don't give it, I won't make a fuss. I wouldn't look. For me, honestly, I just feel like they've had the thing, they've had it. Let it be. It's if the league wants to take it off them. Don't give it to the second or the runner up. Just take it off them. Just take it off their books.
But I think the reason everyone why we won't want, like for me, I don't want that because I like I said I watched I enjoy the game for the moment, right? I enjoy the game for what they call that. That's that you're the edge of your seat, right? You do we win or we win or we're not winning, right?
Yeah.
But I think for the monetary piece, the money part, I think every club will go after that. Imagine the Glazers, they will go after it because they will want that money. They will certainly want that money, right?
It's not like they didn't get the money whilst they during that season. They did. They run
No,
out.
but I'm saying, but I think winning a trophy, right? The
Mhm.
Premier League doesn't that give you a different
gives-
bracket of what they call funds.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the whatever price tag is attached to price reward is attached to the winning the trophy, right? You could get it, but I'm saying trophy wise, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I know I might be in a minority here, but I don't care. If it comes, it comes. If the league says no, we're just gonna scrap it off their records, but we are not handing it over to anybody else, fine. I'm okay with it. Whatever they want to do, I'm okay with it. I'm just saying I wouldn't be making a fuss and saying no, since they got stripped off the title, hand it over to whoever comes second. Are you okay? If we're gonna go by that, means that we have to be the ones winning the FA Cup last season.
Yes, I know. I know that was what Mark mentioned, right? We win the FA Cup as well.
So again, so yeah, but let's move on to the you were going to ask the question about Rashford, right? So yeah, you were talking about Rashford and
Rashford, no, I was talking about Rashford. I think I'm interested that I know your view on Rashford. I think you're basically almost are you almost political or diplomatic?
No, it's not. I'm just looking at it from I'm trying to be neutral, sitting on the fence as to looking at both sides, right? So there must be something going on mentally. I just don't want to feel like there's a player in there in Rashford, but I just feel like something's going on inside it, inwardly, in the person of Marcus Rashford. There's something happening that he's trying to deal with, and that's affecting his performance on the pitch. I feel like once that is sorted out, and don't forget that he's not the only one that has having a bad spell. A lot of other players in the team are actually having a bad spell, and it's rubbing off. It's a team game. It's rubbing off on him. Do we have personnel that can get him involved in the game or that can actually help improve his kind of game? I doubt it, right?
Okay.
But that being said, I wouldn't make an excuse for him because I just don't feel like the left wing he's getting to do what he knows how to do best from the left. I'd rather have him play on the right for a while and see, because most of his goal contribution has actually come from the right wing. So whilst I actually want him to come good, whilst I actually would not be surprised if they sell him, it wouldn't bother me if they decide to sell him, right? And I actually want him to come good. I like Marcus Rashford. Whilst all of that are playing at the back of my mind, I feel like he would come good once the team gets back to their self. Like once the likes of Luke Shaw, once we can get a consistent starting 11, that way we could actually see the Marcus Rashford that we once knew. They could actually see him coming right now. He's injured.
Is he injured?
But I don't think it's that big of an injury to be worried about. I don't know, right? So I'm not gonna leave it.
Well,
what's up there, Mark? What is it? Is he injured?
Yeah, he injured, bro. It's just the severity. We're waiting for him to reach back to be assessed. We'll get confirmation in 24 hours as to how serious the injury is, if it's just a minor knock or something like that. But, as Drex saying, there's a player in there. Drex, I would love to get your glasses maker, because he's definitely amazing. He works wonders. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe that, right? If I was to write a list, like I'll say from a friend Olmo over at, Football for an Hour, I have a list. And on that list, we start off with skill, then it have stamina, pace, then it have ability, agility, dribbling, shooting,
Mm-hmm.
crossing, passing, you know,
Yeah.
football and intelligence. And the
Yeah.
only thing it have on that list that are ticking off, closing my eyes, is pace.
It's pace. Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? So like I see I saw the player there some seasons ago, but the player never showed up. Last
Mm.
season, I am convinced after watching so many games this season that last season was a fluke.
No, I
So
can say it's an outlier.
it's a fluke, bro. It was luck, you know. The tooth fairy smile on him and everything was going good. And it's 12 o'clock midnight now, so back to pumpkin mode. You know what I'm saying? But this is not the biggest problem, African Cup of Nations, abductor injury,
No, but
and that's the hit.
I thought Ted said it was more of a stomach problem.
Bruv, is an abductor muscle
Oh man, this is
injury.
bad. This is bad.
What is it
So
there?
this
You
the
you
abductor
the
is is the base of your rotating cuff,
Yeah.
basically in your body, in your back. That's where your
uh,
body could do the twist and you get the
yeah.
power to generate the slight turns and spring to the left and right. Right now, this guy is probably out for the next 6 weeks. And I talking
And
I
about
then
recovery and then getting himself physiotherapy back into physically fit. 6 weeks, guys.
mm,
We're not seeing this guy until after AFCON. And that's if the injury is not severe. And as
hmm,
if it's not severe, we might be lucky and we might see him. But I don't think we're seeing him next week against Everton. I kind of excited about that because I think Bayern deserves a chance.
Bayern there. Why
Yeah,
does everyone want to see Bayern? Have you watched him before now though? Bayern there.
I have watched Bayern there at in some stat reports and some scouting reports, and his numbers are decent.
mm-hmm,
I watch him in open training twice, and I've seen that he has a good movement, good balance. He has a wide reach. He's like 6'6",
mm-hmm.
so this is
Wow.
a big guy. This guy has a reach, and he's very agile. In my opinion, he's very good with the ball at his feet. He could pass the ball
Mm-hmm.
out. Now he's not Andre Onana, and he
Yeah.
certainly doesn't have the experience. But I think this is the best backup we could have in terms of a ball playing goalkeeper, because I think he's of a similar ilk, and it's just fine tuning and experience needed. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean, to get him up to speed. So maybe you never know. He looking at right now with this injury, possibly looking at a start a lot sooner than he thought, and hmm, he might be having to keep against Galatasaray as
If
well.
it's the abductor muscles, right? If it's the hip abductor, it's gonna be a big problem depending on the severity, right? So if it's something that is just like a sprain, yeah, you're right. Between 6 to 8 weeks, right? But if it's a tear in part of the tendon, oh my days, it is gonna be a long, long one, because what should we call it? It takes time to heal. It actually takes time to heal. But that being said, I've always wanted to give the Binder a time to actually integrate before the AFCON actually commence. But I did wish for an injury to Onana for him to actually get his time. But it happened. So we just have to get on with the program and just see. I feel like he would come good. His distribution might not be as top notch as that of Onana, but he's also a good shot stopper, and shouldn't have a problem being in the goal. My major concern would be the occasion, because we've seen goalkeepers come to Old Trafford, we've seen goalkeepers play for Manchester United, and they get drowned in the occasion. They get drowned in the stature of the club. Like you could actually cast your mind back to the Bravka's first game, right? When the Bravka, it was really, really, it was tense. You could see it was anxious. It wasn't really composed. Maybe the crowd, the noise from Old Trafford and everything got to him. But like again, we have the band there. Band there is actually what should we call it? He played today against Germany. He was in the goal for Turkey, and I feel like he's a professional, he's an international, so it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. He would. I just hope my own problem is just he settles in, because it's a very, we saw when the here first of all came in, we saw he had a problem. Even on Nana, the weight of the club actually got to him. So I just hope that this guy actually has taken those those, I wouldn't say mistake, but those experience from these other guys, taking it on board and see how to outlive it, or how to outshine or outperform or outclass, right? Or how to
Mm-hmm.
outclass the what should we call it, the occasion. Because boy, being in Old Trafford for the first time, playing in goal, like, was it Mark that was saying, yeah, in one of our show, you said you want him to actually start away at Everton. Now with the, that was before we knew Everton was going to get deducted points from, right? Now, would you still want him to start at Everton with the quote unquote negative points deduction bounce?
But
That's the
you know,
new.
like you're saying it like that, right? But you know, I don't believe it. I don't believe in those things. I okay, all of those things might sound all well and dramatic and all that, but
Hmm.
in my honest opinion, football is the team on the day. When they walk
Hmm.
out on the field and they watch them in the face, they could see if they're up for today or not. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
And whether or not they have a determined motivation or they don't have a determined motivation for that game, we have to get 3 points. It's as simple as that. You
I
know what I
agree.
mean? And I'll be real, that shouldn't affect our performance anyway. What happening to them?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we had a win, and
That should,
the most important thing is our game plan going into the
yeah,
game. We need three
yeah.
points. We need to get a solid performance. The team need to continue opening up, showing that they could consistently have patterns of play for 90 minutes. They could consistently create chances, more chances than the last game, because the current trend in the last 5 games is that each game we created more chances by like 2 to 5 chances more each game. So
Hmm.
these are the things I looking for. And I know I don't want to get into the drama part or the bit where they could get bunks because of this point deduction and
Hmm.
how they're going to affect us. I just think that is a game that was always going to be tough because there's a low
Hmm.
mid block team,
Yeah,
and our strikers haven't been scoring goals in the Premier League, although he has
yeah,
5 goals in the UCL.
yeah.
You know, and then also we're going to be without this guy, which is one of the
Um,
biggest problems for me. He is out, injured,
I,
you
I
know.
don't really.
So the problem with this is that we don't know if he's going to be out for a month, or he's going to be out for 3 weeks, or he's going to be out for 2 weeks. That is the
But
problem with his injury.
Mason Mount should deputize, should come in easy for this guy, if you, or Amrabat.
Mason Mount should, but do you think that Mason Mount can?
I
Wow,
don't know, but
Mason.
for me, if we don't have Ericsson, then it pains me to say this, but um, we could put Amrabat on the six and play what should we call it? We could play a tree of Bruno, Eric, Amrabat, and McTominay. It pains me to actually call McTominay's name, right?
Bro, listen, I
But
understand what you're saying now. And McTominay in good form.
yeah, because
But
like if we want to play Bruno, Mason Mount, and Amrabat, we've seen that combination against Wolves, right? We've seen how it leaves the man, which be it Casemiro or Amrabat, it leaves them isolated in the middle of the pitch, right? So, but with a McTominay in there, at least he could come in. McTominay does the job too, so he could come in and form like a defensive stability for Amrabat or so, because you want to play Bruno and Mason Mount, two of them alongside, let's say Bruno at the 10, Mason Mount alongside Amrabat. It's just going to isolate Amrabat. And with the way, with the way Everton plays, bro, they have this Amadou That guy is a warrior. But that being said, you were right to say if we stick to our game plan, their weakness could be their own vulnerability. Their weakness could be their own their what am I saying? The fact that they have to come at us because they feel like, they feel motivated for the point deduction, could be their own weakness, could lead to their own vulnerability in terms of they might be throwing caution to the wind, right? They might be throwing caution to the wind. By so doing, we can actually pounce and we get at them. So it could work in our favor. At the same time, it couldn't, but we just have to bring our A game away. It's Everton, I think in the last, yeah, Everton has been, we've always had a number, like we've always had a good result over Everton, right? So I believe we should nick that game. We should take that game away from them, maybe 2-1 or 3-1. Yeah,
Well,
that's my take. That's my take.
well, like I just gonna say this here, like Hoyland he had a minor injury in the last
Mhm,
game played, came off early. Everyone was worried about it, but he has removed himself from the Danish team, so he hasn't
yeah.
been out. He has been resting for the last week. Will be
Hmm.
resting for this next week. Should be getting into training probably on Wednesday or Thursday, and we hope to get a fit qualification so that he will be on the bench and available for selection against Everton. Because this young man, I'll let tell you all about him. He's very good, or striker. You know,
No,
Tesh.
no. So no. Hoyland for me, I think he will be a fantastic player for the future of United. Where I think the team currently is going through a phase of transition when they've never had what they call they've never had a striker to look up to. I know we've had them. We had them Cavani, we've had them Ronaldo, we've had Martial, but I think Hoyland is different. That youth striker, which I think right once we build properly, will be pivotal for the next 5 to 6 years for even more for Manchester United. For, honestly, before he came here, I wasn't quite sure in terms of, okay, he plays for Atalanta, he didn't play too often. I was a bit skeptical on paying that amount of money for him. But in that, though, seeing him coming in, the strength, the pace, the technique, and being able to even play as a striker, like your natural striker at that age, I think he has a great future. The Ten Hag just needs to make sure he builds that team in a way whereby the wingers can provide for the striker. I think Orland will score goals. Now, I won't say it's struggling. It's just more of like it's I call it a time to adapt, and we'll see more. Imagine if we sit in the Champions League, right? Scored 5 goals, right? What pains me for the most part though is that those games he has scored, I think we've ended up losing or drawing. I'm not 100%, but Hoyland will be a very good striker for United though. Hopefully, Ten Hag manages him properly. He has a back injury. Hopefully, we can get that. We can get that injury sorted. And you know what? I think Hoyland will come good for United. Drex, your thoughts?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with Ireland. I just feel like once we could get everybody to have him involved in terms of yeah, provide for him. That's the word. Provide the service for him. Don't let him be in the graveyard shift. Provide for him. Like let's see. I know everybody wants to be the hero, right? But we should stop that and then this and now know that we have a striker, then that which we'll be working for. Like if you look at the if you read the comment or listen to the comment, what's his name? Marino actually said about the guy. He said he's a proper footballer that is playing in the team that is struggling at the moment. So if we can actually put the wingers, I know Bruno is doing his bit, but if we have more creative in the team, he would actually shine. I have no doubt about Oiland. I have no doubt. And with the trajectory or with the way the club is actually setting up to go in terms of structure, I feel like before the end of the season, his praise will be in everybody's mouth. That's all I can say.
That's good. Hoyland, I think I'm so excited though. Fantastic player, 20 years old, more to come. I just want those goals to start coming. And I know people tend to compare him and to Haaland. Haaland is a different breed entirely. I don't know what I get hits, but I think Hoyland will come good. With time though, we should be fine with Hoyland.
Okay, Tess, thanks for actually dropping into the. Please, guys, thank you for supporting us today. For as many that actually showed up, thank you for actually supporting us. We do appreciate. You could leave your comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you've not done so. Also, please do check out my my body's channel, test channel. It's at the Hub Sports. The Hub Sports. I'm just gonna. I think it's right there in the. I'm just gonna bring it back. It's the Hub Sports, right? Just check it. He does his own thing. Yeah. And big up Mark for having us today.
This is my first time here. Hopefully, more to come. I'm usually very busy during the week. Hopefully, I can make time to join. It was fantastic, though. Good discussion. I've never had that. People so interested in what they call international football. And Mark, I think with you, I have to start going to watch those games, right? So I can bring, I think, value to this discussion. But it's been great, though.
Yeah, well, you know how it is, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you so much, Drex. It's always a pleasure to have you on, buddy. We do the late night shows on a Sunday night. Tesh, maybe if you want, you could come through tomorrow night when we're doing the show. It's at 11 p.m. UK time. It's late to some people, but it's just a little pretty chill stream where we just talk about the events that happened in football that week. So I guess we're gonna have lots of football to talk about because Tesh says he's gonna prepare. Maybe we might even have some fun facts of the show, fun facts of the Premier League. And guys, thanks for coming. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out D-Hub Sports, guys. Get in the channel. He's always talking about good stuff in there. Drex, my buddy in crime, always here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tesh, I see you later. And guys, as I'm about to close the show, thank everyone for joining us. I hope everyone has a good night tonight. Got a lot of information we shared about the National League, Nations League, and the CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, Africa Cup of Nations, as well as Euro qualifying. So guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all tomorrow.